This is Karen Howenstein with Coast Observer TV, second episode, and I'm here with a friend of mine, Kiss the Comedian. Kiss the Comedian from YouTube, also known as Denzel.
Yes.
And he has quite a story of why he came to be in Santa Barbara County.
Let me tell you something, Karen. You ready for this story?
Yes,
All
I'm
right.
ready for the story because the story is very interesting.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I'm living in my van in Austin, Texas. I work at a dishwasher. I work at a restaurant doing dishwashing, and I do stand-up comedy at night trying to get on Kill Tony, which is the biggest platform for comedians.
Okay.
And every Monday I show up and put my name in a bucket of 500 people. Only 5 people get picked. My name never gets picked.
Okay.
So I get frustrated. 3-6 months later, I go, I need a vacation. I want to see where Oprah lives, and Kevin Costner, and Prince Harry, and Megan Thee Stallion, and Meghan Markle, whatever. So I found out Santa Barbara is a little tourist town, vacation town.
Uh-huh.
So I go, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go to Santa Barbara. I'm excited. So I go to downtown Santa Barbara with my van where I live in, and I take a shower at Planet Fitness, and I go to a bar called Joe's Cafe. Did you know Joe's Cafe in downtown Santa Barbara, they fill up the liquor that much and they put a splash of Sprite? They're known for making the strongest drinks in Santa Barbara.
Oh, okay.
So I had
Really gets you wasted.
super wasted.
Wasted. Okay.
So I have 6 vodka and Sprite this tall with this much vodka and a little bit of Sprite. I'm on vacation. I'm going, woo!
Oh, jeez. So what happened?
So I leave Joe's Cafe, and I go to Darkest Irish Bar in downtown Santa Barbara.
The Irish bar.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm at the bar, and I see this beautiful Colombian woman. I go, let me practice my Spanish. So I go over there, and I say, hola. And as I'm talking to this beautiful woman, this guy comes over. He goes, she has a boyfriend.
Oh.
I go, you're not her lawyer. She can speak for herself. She's a grown woman. And he goes, whatever, and then he pushes me.
Oh.
Back in Texas, barbecue and beer, where we like to roll at rodeo and roll the horses. If you put your hands on someone, you can defend yourself. It's called self-defense.
Yeah. Well,
So-
that's actually the law. So what happened?
So he pushed me. I defended myself. They take me, put me in jail,
And you were drunk.
and I was drunk.
Uh-huh.
And they put me in jail. They take my van, and I've been stuck here since May of last year.
What, like almost a year?
Almost a year. April is 1 week away.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So are you on probation? I mean, like, what happened? Did you get charged?
They charged me with assault because I was like, I'm defending myself. What's going on here? So I came to Santa Barbara on vacation. Now I'm leaving on probation.
Oh, no, for real.
That's the
Like,
slogan of Santa Barbara.
No.
You come on vacation, you leave on probation.
Oh, jeez. You are a real live occurrence of that.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I have noticed that since you've been here, you've been very easy to get along with, and I noticed that you talk to a lot of people on the street. So your channel's on YouTube?
Yes.
Kiss the Comedian.
Yes.
Okay.
You will see some crazy stuff of some people who live in Santa Barbara. I interviewed a lot of people from Santa Barbara, and if you want to see what the homeless in Santa Barbara goes through and the craziness of downtown Santa Barbara, you can see it on my channel.
Wow. That's great.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
As a First Amendment auditor, what is that like?
Oh, wow. Well, I developed my First Amendment auditing skills because of my friend Katie Kidman. So my friend Katie Kidman on YouTube, she's from the Central Coast, and she was auditing, First Amendment auditing in the Lompoc Valley when I met her. And she kind of got me involved in the cop watching. And then my cop watching has developed into ginger cop obsession, which we do have. It's not just me. Okay, we really do have a lot of very, very well put together, nice looking, redheaded cops serving in law enforcement all over the county.
Okay.
Yeah, and I seem to encounter them sometimes frequently in 2s and 3s sometimes too, and it's very, yeah.
Okay.
It's hard. It's kind of like a magical spell. Anyway.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever heard of what the kids are doing today? Do you know what the kids are doing today?
No. You mean like at home or at school?
On the internet.
No.
So the kids now, there's a thing called streaming. You ever heard of streaming?
Streaming.
Streaming.
Yeah, like live?
Live. So people watch you live, live your life. So they have the kids on Twitch and Kick and YouTube on the internet. And the biggest streamers in the world are two guys. One guy's name is Kai Cenat, and the other guy's name is Aisho Speed. These guys are 18, 21 years old. They're making millions of dollars on the internet. Kai Cenat came out and said, Nike offered me $500 million not to say the word God in my videos.
What?
So what do you think about that?
I'm glad he told the truth. Wow.
Kai Cenat turned down $500 million from Nike.
Although, because I'm a study in theology, like I'm a lifelong study in theology, there's certain religions who don't refer to the word God at all, out of respect. So, you'd actually have to query Nike to find out how they feel about it. Well, have you thought about doing that?
No. Nike, keep your money. I'm going to keep saying thank you, God, for waking up every day.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's a good thing.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you think about guys like Jon Stewart, who wants to replace Chuck Schumer, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, all making fun of the president? Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers.
I don't mind some of the humor because I admit that President Trump doesn't always tweet well. And we have to live with that.
Yes.
But I love my president. I love President Trump. I think that his policies to save our country from the ruin that it was headed for is just worth our thankfulness and admiration.
Now, the liberals call him Orange is the New Black. That's what they call him. I don't know.
And you know what? The liberals call him all the time, every day, like every second of the day. Okay? There is no other word that comes out of a liberal's mouth more than Trump.
That is true.
So I don't know. Seems to me like they really like saying his name. So,
And my friend the other day told me Jon Stewart is a better Jewish man than he is a comedian. Because do you know what that means?
No.
Jon Stewart is a humanitarian for firefighters and 9/11 victims.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he goes in front of the Congress and fights for them. So Jon Stewart is a better Jewish man, humanitarian man, than he's a comedian when he makes fun of the president.
Oh.
That's what my friend said.
I haven't been that... the only comedian that really got under my skin was that redheaded woman. The one that had cut off the president's head and was holding it.
Oh.
What's that lady's name? I even forgot.
Something.
Yeah. But anyway, I don't like her.
Okay. What about The View? What do you think about The View?
I haven't watched The View in 20 years.
It's a bunch of ladies complaining. Women love to talk,
I try to do my best not to, but the ginger cops have a special effect on me, and so I can't really control what I say sometimes.
So let me ask you this. As a First Amendment audit, what have you noticed in Santa Barbara County? Like any corruption or?
As First Amendment auditing on the streets, I have not seen any corruption. As I First Amendment audit on the streets. But what happens is I go First Amendment auditing, then I have contact with people who have law enforcement contact, And then I interview them and start following these leads on these incidences. Like sometimes it's a death, sometimes it's somebody's house titles being taken over, so sometimes it's a court case, right? And when I dig into it under the surface, it's just full of information. Like, it's just there. Like well, you told me that when you came to the U.S.,
Yes.
you were actually in Minnesota and grew up in Minnesota.
I went from Kenya in a refugee camp when I was 12 years old. 120 degrees outside in like Mars. Africa is like Mars, right? It's hot.
Hot, yeah.
I went to Minnesota, which is like Neptune, -10. So I went from Mars to Neptune in our solar system. And now I'm here in America. Grateful to be here, by the way. You know, and by the way, Karen, let me ask you this. Why is every time I go to Walmart, everything's made in China? Why is China taking over Africa? Did you know China is building everything in Africa and taking over my continent?
And South America, and that's one of the reasons why we're fighting so hard for South America, which is in our continent. Like,
China?
We're really fighting. We're fighting to keep South America away from the Chinese.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's why he went to Venezuela and got the guy. You know?
Yeah. That's
And
what I think.
you know what I'm saying? And then China is basically doing to us in my continent in Africa what Christopher Columbus did to the Native Americans. That's what it feels like. They're just taking over.
Mm-hmm. Kind of coming in and being proprietary over the peace in the land. Like, I see them starting wars and starting conflicts and then letting the tribes infight and letting corruption and crime come in and wipe out good people. You know, that's the problem that we have sometimes in the U.S.
That's right. China is trying to give us our own Happy Thanksgiving holiday. We don't want it. Keep your turkey, China. That's what we say in Africa. We don't want the holiday. So that's what's going on. It's like, why is everything made in China? Why not everything made in America? That bothers me.
Well, because we don't do the bulk of manufacturing. They do the manufacturing there because they enslave their people. They literally enslave them. Like, they're not getting paid a living wage. Okay, so Baby Yay Yay changed my life. It was back in, was it 2010? The story of Baby Yay Yay, it indicated to me how far away from humanity the Chinese government had forced their people. It resulted in this child who escaped during a rainstorm from the yard where she was living in an industrial area. And she wandered out into a not very busy street where there was just some industrial traffic, like trucks that were going like 2 miles an hour, right?
Wow.
Well, she's standing out there on the road and she's looking around and she doesn't really know where she's at and she doesn't know she's standing in the way of traffic, right? Mm-hmm. But she doesn't move because she's so young, she doesn't know to move. But listen, this is what happens. The first truck driver sees her there on the side of the road. He doesn't even stop. He runs her over. Had absolutely no, like she was a piece of trash. Okay? She got run over twice before the people started stepping over her in the street as she writhed in pain and screamed for help.
Wow.
Okay? What happened was a woman came along who's paid to clean the streets. She saw this child writhing in pain, picked her up, and said, oh, you know, they ran over the baby. Well, they took her to the hospital, and the CCTV footage still exists. See, this is why we all found out about it, was because there was closed caption footage of the entire thing. And it went viral. It went worldwide. And so the Chinese government had to basically answer for that. So what happened is they started making it like illegal not to help. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so then the whole population swings back the other way, and people are getting in trouble for trying to help people, and the people don't want the help.
Oh my God.
That actually happened in China because of Baby Yay Yay.
You know,
It's called backlash.
Karen, Karen, do you know how far ahead China's economy is right now? It's doing much better than the U.S.
Oh,
economy.
is it? I bet it is.
Jeez.
They have control over a lot more than we do.
Socialist, communist. Now, two questions I have for you is, why hasn't Lompoc
It's Lompoc
grown since the 80s? Why is it still 40,000? Why is the city so small and 40,000 people? Why hasn't it grown?
So our liberal government that we had like about 20 to 30 years ago decided that they wanted to keep Lompoc small because they always had a really hard time keeping the majority, the political majority. So what they did is they conspired to keep Lompoc small by having these agricultural easements with these agricultural restrictions on the perimeter right around our town. And we're also hemmed in by the San Ynez River. So you have to go over bridges to get to our town, right? So because they restrict the town from growing in neighborhood size, the only real development we've had is them taking lots in town, raising the buildings, and putting up like low-income housing or a HUD apartment complex. And I found this out too, and now I'm investigating this corporation called the Surf Development Corporation. And it's the like legal arm and investment arm who actually owns the properties that HUD has developed in our county in the Lompoc Valley. And it's very interesting, their relationship, because they've been able to keep Lompoc from growing in housing that we desperately need for people to own, but they have kept on building their own projects that have people to live in them that are supported by programs with federal money and state money coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, that's happening a lot in Lompoc.
And then the next governor of California, how you feel about him?
I hope it's going to be Chad Bianco because
Chad Bianco! Shout out to Chad Bianco!
I heard him speak at the Elks Lodge
Yes.
on a Sunday, and boy, I was not prepared for his resume. I mean, that man really does manage a lot of people, and he has to manage a lot of different like tribal stuff and government or agencies, and he has a bunch of different unincorporated areas where, like in Santa Barbara County, they don't like to let anything incorporate. So it doesn't matter if you have, you know, an area growing. Well, they did let Buellton incorporate, like that ticket that I got. That's Buellton getting their money.
What?
Well, anyway, I didn't think I was speeding, and actually, I think the fact that the guy didn't pull me over for 5 miles is significant.
That's crazy.
We'll see at the trial.
We'll see you at the trial, buddy. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he has your vote. The governor, the next, what's his name?
Chad Bianco.
Chad Bianco, we love you. You have Karen's vote. You have my vote.
Yeah, he's a law and order guy. And he basically, in his speeches, I could tell he was promising us that when he becomes governor, all of the grift and graft and money laundering that's going through the government and in these programs that go to these NGOs and nonprofits and stuff is going to stop. He's going to bring in like a team of Doge. And it's going to be like, zoom! And I know. I'm like, could you imagine? And I actually thought about it. Like, if they stop all the grift and graft that's happening through our government in California, the citizens of California might end up really being in a better position than we've ever been.
Preach.
But everybody needs to vote.
Yes.
Go out and vote your conscience.
Yes.
Yeah.
I want to talk about your family's been here since the 70s in Lompoc.
No, my family's been here since the 30s.
1930s in Lompoc.
In Lompoc.
And then can we talk about your 400 acres ranch? Your family's 400 acres ranch.
The place where I grew up as a child and where my parents built their ranch house. So I'm going to reserve comment on that because there's a civil case being heard in trial coming up soon, and I don't want to jinx anything.
Good. So
given that I'm a legal amateur.
Okay. So you went to high school, Lompoc High School.
Yeah.
In what year high school you graduated?
In 1990.
So what was it like going to high school in Lompoc in 1990? It
was great. We were at the top of our game in CIF in a lot of different sports and track and stuff because we had some very gifted athletes in our school and a great football team. Like everybody excelled. And I found out that a lot of the kids I graduated with ended up going to administrative positions and, school districts and, educational sphere and medical and, all kinds of different stuff.
High-paying jobs.
Oh, yeah. Like really performance jobs, like where you're having to run things.
Oh, like the boss. So 1990 Lompoc High School are bosses.
It is.
That's the slogan. So you got like anybody famous from Lompoc High School that made it to the NFL, NBA, American Idol?
We had Napoleon Kaufman. Okay, so Napoleon Kaufman is a great man.
Okay.
And I used to tutor him in school.
Oh.
Yeah, because he needed help with his math, right? And I think he was a freshman and I was graduating. But I tutored him in math, and he was so nice. I mean, really wonderful, nice person, okay? He did end up holding records, breaking state records and going to the NFL.
Oh, wow.
And being on winning teams, Super Bowl winning teams for the Raiders.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was a running back. And he quit his NFL career to become a preacher. And he now has a large church up in Northern Cal, in I believe it's Oakland area.
What?
Yeah, Napoleon Kaufman. And you're going to go to his YouTube channel. In fact, I want him to look it up. Because I've listened to some of his sermons, and our friend Napoleon Kaufman is a holy man.
Shout out to Napoleon Kaufman.
Yeah, he really is.
I never heard of
you
this guy.
listen to his sermons, man, and you feel his
the spirit is coming at you. The spirit is coming at you. The spirit, Napoleon Kaufman, the spirit is coming at you.
The Spirit of Christ.
Spirit of Christ coming at you. The Holy Ghost coming at you. Shout out to Napoleon Kaufman.
Napoleon Kaufman.
Oh, there he is. Oh, wow. Good-looking guy.
Yeah, let me see. That's him in his prime, too.
Wow.
Let's see here.
Napoleon Kaufman. Shout out to Napoleon Kaufman, the Raiders.
Well, so I wanted to find out how did the system here in Santa Barbara County kind of bat you around?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So they put me on probation, and my probation officer puts me in sober living, which is run by nonprofit Good Samaritan.
Okay.
Nonprofit Good Samaritan goes, we own everything in Santa Barbara. I go, what do you mean? Then I do my research. I get to find out nonprofit Good Samaritan runs every homeless shelter in Santa Barbara and every sober living in Santa Barbara, and they get funded by the federal and state money of $30 million. So I'm staying at a sober living in Santa Barbara on behind Milpas called Step Down Program. 3 minutes left.
We got 3 minutes.
All right. So I'm about to finish this real quick.
Okay, that's okay.
So Step Down Program Sober Living, run by nonprofit Good Samaritan behind Milpas in Santa Barbara. I'm staying at the sober living. Somebody puts a bottle of whiskey under my bed, and this guy that doesn't like me from Louisiana, and the manager finds the bottle. He goes, "That's your bottle. You gotta go." I go, "What?" and I go, "What? That's not my bottle." He goes, "That's your bottle of whiskey." The manager doesn't like me because the manager cursed me out.
Somebody set you up.
Somebody set me up. So I get cursed out by Ryan. I get cursed out by Jack. Those two house managers live in the Step Down Program, which is run by Good Samaritan nonprofit. So they said, pack your stuff, put it in a trash bag. And they didn't even make me a case. I didn't get to argue, make my case, or talk to the manager.
They just moved you out.
They just moved me out. And you can't do that. Under the California Shelter Section Penal Code, they have to give you at least 30 days. They have to give you a chance to make your case, and you have to talk to a boss, and there has to be in writing. Not just pack your stuff and go. So now, thanks to my lawyer, Russell Brown at RPX Law, downtown Santa Barbara, I'm suing Good Samaritan.
Because they moved you out under violating penal code.
Exactly.
Well, that doesn't surprise me, because there's a lot of people like pushing their weight around, and they're fully funded, and I'm not so sure that their billing practices are ethical.
And they're taking advantage of the Medi-Cal and Sen-Cal, charging people $5,000. They're robbing the government, blind. This is nonprofits. Corruption in California is crazy. So shout out to Nick Shirley.
Okay, wait, Nick Shirley.
Shout out to Nick Shirley.
We need Nick Shirley.
Everywhere. We need him in Lompoc, Santa Barbara.
I bet they have what does it say?
1 minute.
1 minute.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Nick Shirley, if you're watching this, please come to Santa Barbara County.
No, we'll have to send this to him, because he's our friend on YouTube.
Yes.
What Nick Shirley? I bet they have Nick Shirley repellent at like where you come into Montecito and. Hey, thanks for being on the show.
Karen, it was a pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Legend, Lompoc legend you are. You're a Lompoc legend.
Well, you know, God said, let there be Karen.
Amen, sister. Amen. All right.
What did she say?
See you 30 seconds.
Oh,
right,
30 seconds. We got 30 seconds.
Well, what do you want to say? Any last thing?
Well, I want to plug Katie Kinsey.